many people say they have your best interests, right? Like, oh, they act that way, they want you to perceive it. But a lot of people don't have your best interests. They really have their worst fears in mind, right? So they don't have your best interests in mind. They're thinking about their worst fears, and they're projecting that onto you a lot of times, right? And this is just at least what I've experienced. And so, that being said, if I know that, I'm like, okay, yeah, you don't have to BS me. Like, it's fine. Like, I'm just going to detach. And I think the whole synopsis of what I got from this, and like the kind of message behind this, maybe I'll put it in the title. Like, yeah, but preserve your power and protect your peace. Right? Preserve your power, protect your peace. Excuse me. It's warm in here, but I might open the window. But I want y'all to be able to hear me. And yeah, that's cool, because I kind of want to wrap it up with this. Just like I talked about the book The Power before, I think it's so important to know that, like, when we talk about giving away our power and like how our time and energy is so valuable, right, protecting this energy we have, that's what it is. That is the real benefit of using this God spell of detachment. Because a lot of people, like they say, you are what you attract. It's like, I mean, sure, I attract great things, and I might attract this and that, but also some of the things maybe that's manifesting now, that could have been what I attracted in the past, and now things from the past are coming to test who I am now, and make sure that, oh, you don't want to stay in the same cycle. You sure you don't want to be that person you used to be? And it's like, no, I have to kind of renew, because again, it all in God's timing. That wasn't a linear thing. Like, who I used to be, that was from a whole different reality. So now, like, in God's time, God might bring the things that I said, oh, this is what you wanted, right? So God might bring this into my life. And it's not because that's what God wants for me, but at a point in time, that was what I chose for myself. Because we all choose negativity at some point in our life. And that's where I would think I was going with, polarity and equal opposite, law of attraction. Like, if I'm putting out negativity, excuse me, and the primary reason why I didn't want to respond in a negative way, I wasn't gonna try and get a lot of attention or make a bunch of noise or protest, and you say you want me to leave, like, oh no, this is your space, that's what you want me to do, I respect that, right? And because I have respect, I know how to move. And because I give respect, it's like people have no choice but also to return that same respect, because it would be a violation. It wouldn't even make sense. And I feel like so many times people have felt that energy, and to me, just authenticity, because they're like, I don't even feel comfortable disrespecting you, because they know that's something I've never done to them. So when a lot of people get put in this hard position with me, or they can't quite, it's like, that's just because I'm not giving away my power to you, right? A lot of people want to leech. A lot of people want to energy drain. And it's like, that's, if I was entertaining your jokes or trying to lesser myself or be submissive, like, nah, that's not what we doing over here. And for that reason, it's just like, all right, I just give up, and a lot of people, they give their power away when maybe they do project and they do get emotional. They're almost like, you're making me your God. And I'm not saying that that's the exact case, but it becomes like idolatry to me. And yeah, this conversation is really unraveling. I feel like it's getting very deep, but it's what I'm here for, and it's what I'm here for, quite frankly. And I wholeheartedly believe it to be true. Like, with so many people, we put individuals on a high pedestal, and we have these expectations, but it's like, that person doesn't owe you anything. right? And I've really come to terms with accepting this. Like, it is what it is. I'm a detached because as much as I might want something, like that's an idea that I created, and I just have such a strong imagination. I'm a life path 3. I'm a creator. You know, I got the God spells, and sometimes that's a lot of energy for people to receive. So I have to accept, like, this is my path, and like whatever I do and whoever's aligned for me, they're gonna like stick in a way, you feel me? Like everything else that can't hold weight, where I was only there for a month and it's like I can't be mad. I'm not gonna be mad at them. It's just like they just wasn't on my frequency and my level. And even bro told me, like the GM before I left, he's like, yeah, you know, I just don't think it was a cultural fit. He's like, I don't really see how we can kind of repair this. Even though he told me I wouldn't have any problems with the coach who kind of, when he just kind of OD, like he did something that was very manipulative and wanted to make a point in front of the whole class, stop the class. It was kind of like talking around me or like in my face, or like, and like I'm responding. I'm like not about to be quiet. I'm like, okay, da 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 da, and I'm gonna be confrontational. And I think a lot of people are not accustomed to confrontation, and so many people just kind of, just move in fear. But once I did that, that was where I've been thinking about a lot. I haven't even read the book, but y'all know, everybody knows about the 48 laws of power. And for those of us, who might have tapped in and read it, I probably will read it at some point. I'm actually more interested in the book he has, Robert Greene, about the laws of nature. Something about the human laws of nature, as well as the one he co-wrote with 50 Cent. And I'm more intrigued because I learned just tapping in with 50 Cent and him speaking on him, like how they're from different worlds. He's like, Robert Greene wrote all this stuff, but he's actually, like, from his account, a kind person. And I know, right, that sounds funny to some of y'all, maybe coming from 50, but like, this is an authentic person in my opinion, because he's not afraid to be truthful and shed light on things, to whatever degree. But he was just saying, like, Robert as well, right? Like Robert, he's talking about these dark things, but think about it. How quote unquote bad can a person be if they're actually willing to tell you the secrets that many people don't speak on? And he's saying, like, Robert wrote these things and put it in the book for people to know and be aware of how to navigate it. And I feel like when we read things like the 48 laws of power, I do believe that's the intention behind it, of like, I don't need to know this so that I can go and abuse and like control other people. I use the information, I choose to use the information because I want to be aware of how other people perceive the world and what they're doing to maybe harm someone else, right? And even maybe they want to do that against myself. And I just think about that one principle of like not outshining the master, and why it makes sense, because as soon as you do that, I feel like that's what's happening, and I'm like, oh wow, it makes more sense now. Like, we're young guys, and this ego check, like this dude, the coach, we're all sparring. He spars with one person real quick. I just did like 6-7 rounds, and he's like, Ephraim, come here, we're gonna like, it's so funny because he's not even white, but I was using like a white man voice. That's really what it reminded me of, though. He's actually an Asian man. And he's like, come over here. And and I'm like, all right. Because I in my mind, it's so funny. It's like a manifestation. I actually wanted to spar against him. I wanted to fight him. But then he's like kind of loose. And I'm like, all right, throwing. And I like throw something quick. And then he's like, then the argument afterwards becomes like, oh, well, right out the gate you threw this hard punch, and I'm like, dude, I'm not throwing more than 60% of my strength. Like, are you serious? Like, y'all think that's hard and you're competing? That's supposed to be fighters? Like, what is wrong with y'all? Like, to me, it's just the most cowardly thing. And then he's like throwing the hardest joints, and sure, maybe it's not his absolute hardest, but it's like, bro, I low-key really feel like I let him hit me like with one good hook, because I kind of left it open. I feel like subconsciously, like, I wanted to see like how hard is this punch, and I can still feel it a little bit. It's been like a few days, but I'm just like, like, it's the cost of doing business. Like, I wasn't mad about it. I definitely didn't get knocked out. I'm not falling or nothing like that. I'm eating punches. And again, I think that's just the stuff that hurts people's pride and their ego, because they have this inflated value of themselves, and they think they're so much tougher and cooler and stronger than they really are. And it's like, bruh, we fighting. And so I definitely got a clear punch. I got a clear head punch too, and maybe that's what really ticked bro off. But I'm giving him a bunch of energy to it, but not a bunch. But I really wanted to think about this. I really process it, because I'm like, wow, it's just kind of like not mental gymnastics, but the mental shadow boxing of like going back to that fight. Because I really wanted to fight him. I even would have kept fighting him, but I'm just like, yo, like, why are you getting emotional? And I actually stopped him, and I said this to him. And then I took my mouthpiece out, put my hands out. I'm like, nah, we're not about to do that. So like, why are you emotional? Because if this coach is emotional and I get emotional and I knock the dust off you, like, that is gonna be a problem, bro. If I do this in your gym, in your program, and I just really hit you full force, like how I know I can in my soul, it's just not gonna work out. And that's why I ended up leaving anyway. So it's cool, and I'd rather let him have that, like the vision of like, and I just have to say, this is just how empathetic of a person I am. Like, y'all are just getting to see, quite frankly, because I'm like, yo, he has this whole gym. There's like 20, 30 people to come and learn from him, and I think it is in my mind, like I can just understand it. And this gets to me being like such a humanitarian, and I really have love for people, and I feel like dude was already erratic. He probably got problems way bigger than me, and he was getting ready to leave the gym. They said like a month later, they literally announced it as I'm leaving. But he just had it in his mind, I feel like, that he wanted me to leave before he left, even if it was gonna be a month later. I'm like, I don't care, bro. Like, because he was at the gym, he did it for 4 years, like he helped build the program. I'm like, all right, bro, if you looking good in front of all your fighters and these women, if that makes you feel better, that's cool. But and I can only feel like I can have that much peace and that calm and acceptance because I understand my own self-worth, and I know how strong I am. And my thing about like breaking the matrix and getting out of this program, like, I'm not as naive to believe just because you have more fight experience, just because you've been doing this for longer, and just because you're a coach, that you're actually a better fighter than me, right? Because even if this, let's just think about it, I really look at fighting like this is life or death. Like, so I take it seriously. There's plenty of times I don't take advantage of people, and I don't put them in unnecessary situations, but I'm just like, yo, if this is another scenario, like this is real life, I obviously wouldn't be taking it easy on that person. But in this scenario, right, it's like we're doing this for the sport of it, and I don't even want to spend too much with it, but it's like, no, we're doing this for the sport of it, man. And there's a lot of conditions, and even then, I'm doing 2 hours of classes, and I'm coming and fighting with you. Like, this is not even a fair fight. This is just you making a show, asking people to move out the way so you can look good. And I'm like, that's why I'm just gonna let it go. Cause if I really if I was a different type of person, like if I was that dude, like if I wanted to hit you with a hard punch, then it would just escalate more than it needs to be, and people would be emotional, people would be hurt. And that's not my intention, to hurt people. So we kept it peace. I got my money back. That's kind of more important to me. Yeah, it's definitely more important to me than spending my time where I don't need to. But I just say it's crazy because I made so much progress in a month. And I think that's the other side of what intimidates and scares people, because I think people are naturally that fear that I've grown so accustomed to them. And maybe it is because, you know, if y'all know, man, I spiral a little bit through this video, but like a spiral is a positive thing. And I'm starting to see like how I have these divergent tendencies. And I know fixation was already a thing for me, but how my mind works, I get so intent. I have a Virgo moon too. Like I get so intensely like focused and passionate on the things that excite me, right? It excites my nervous system and I feel rewarded. So I was just going like day after day fighting. I'm like feeling the injuries. I'm icing every night. And I'm doing this like it's a sport. Like I'm an athlete. I'm literally like, yo, I am an athlete now. I know in the past I've been, not even the past, but just what I've been doing up to this point. I've been making money, I've been reading, I've been learning, and I'm still gonna do those things. But right now, I feel like, buddy, I feel like Crawford. Like I'm gonna be the best fighter ever. It's like it's an anime, so I was just taking it so serious, and I just have to accept that some people don't like being the best, and they just don't like when they think somebody's gonna be better than them. So I said all that. I'm detaching now. This is what I mean. I'm letting go. And yeah, all the people in my life who I've loved and man, who I've helped at some point, they've probably helped me at some point. You know, I appreciate it. You know, but I don't feel like I need to communicate with anyone from my past really, because if it left off in some way, not always to say that it's the worst thing, but a lot of times, you know, when people know the things that they do, people know when they don't really express gratitude. People like a lot. I've wanted to re-engage with a lot of people in the past, and I wanted to like leave things by the wayside. But I think it's a subconscious thing that they feel like they're not even worthy of my time, because in their heart they feel guilty about things that they might have done. So even with dude, that's what I'm saying, the coach, but not even just him, just other people, but him as well. Like it wouldn't even, that situation now gets uncomfortable for that person because they know morally their conscience is telling them they're doing something wrong. So they don't even want to see me. And a lot of people have wanted to like not see me anymore, and now that I'm not around, it's like, oh, let me hit them up. It's like, nah, bro, you didn't want to see me. Like you literally did not want to see me. You didn't want to engage me. You didn't want to validate me and my existence. So now you no longer have that privilege. Like there's no need for us to communicate. Point blank, period. And that's not malice. That's not being spiteful. This is just what healthy boundaries looks like, and self-love and self-respect. So because I love and respect myself, that is what I'm doing. Protecting my energy, choosing peace over violence. Because that's what I said to bro, like I can communicate other ways besides violence. So I'm gonna take out my mouthpiece. I'm gonna stop fighting right now, because I don't fight because I need to. I fight because I can, I choose to, I love it. I love the sport, I love the art. But also I have peace within myself, knowing that I am capable and I can handle myself in any situation. You know, if it's me versus you, I know who I'm rooting for and I know who I'm going to choose. But I love y'all. Thank y'all if you've made it this far. If you listen to me, man, listen to this beautiful message. It's God-given. I appreciate y'all, man. And I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep showing up for the people who show up for me. So much love. This is the beginning. I'm expecting you to take something from this. And please do not hesitate on advocating for yourself. I know I'm doing all the claps today. I'm on. I'm like, what's wrong? There's nothing wrong with me, bro. I'm just, man, I'm a passionate person. And I'm just excited. Like, I'm literally excited. I got my guitars. I don't know if y'all seen the back, but I was able to take that money and like, yo, I'm putting my music to the side, right? Like, I'm not expressing this outlet because fighting was another form of creativity. But I'm realizing, like, you know what? I can't do everything. And with the whole dopamine, like, I can do it all, but like, I can't do it all at the same time. So sometimes that redirection, I really do. Literally the rejection is redirection, because God might be like, okay, you did that. We know you're the best fighter in the world. but I need you to focus on this music so that other people can hear it, and you can speak to people and use your words instead of your fists. And again, I don't be harming people. Like, I have my days where I'm like, yo, leave me alone. And when it be strangers on the street, especially Atlanta, people be like wanting to play games, and sometimes they be testing people. I say people because this is what I'm saying. Like, I'm so blessed that like God never brings the negativity into my life. Like, I have energetic boundaries as well, so people just don't come across me disrespectful, and I'm respectful. I'm not disrespectful. So it's just amazing to see like, wow, I really gave up this. This is one of the last things I want to say. I want to share this with y'all, because with the subconscious mind, right? We talk about this all the time on this channel. Always gonna talk about the subconscious mind, and like, thinking about how we create our own reality with our thoughts, right? And our nervous system and the neurological all plays a part into that. But I'm gonna be honest with y'all, man. Not only honest but transparent. There was a certain point in my life when I was back in my hometown like last year, and I just had this thought of like, yo, I wish somebody would. Like, I wish somebody would. And this was, to me, a moment of maturity, self-awareness, and intelligence, where I started to stop myself. Every time I had that thought, I'm like, yo, why am I saying that? Like, what is... And I think that's, again, a nervous system, the trauma, the anxiety that I was feeling, the projections of other people, and feeling like I'm not safe in this environment. Because I stopped myself. I'm like, well, first of all, I don't want to harm my own people in my community. I don't even really want to harm anyone, but especially not in my own community, in my hometown. So I'm like, why am I thinking this? I wish somebody would. Like, that's not true. And I just had to come against that thought. And I feel like that's what that just made me think about in church, when they like had to come against that spirit. But like, for real, it's an energetic spirit, and that's a spell to be like, I wish. To wish something, like, that's imaginative God energy. And I'm not going to wish harm, first of all, on myself. Because think about self-love and respect, like, just so I can retaliate. Like, that's stupid. That's ridiculous to like wish harm and not be impeccable with my word. Use my own word against myself, so somebody can do something just so my ego can feel validated, so I can get into an altercation. Like, that's ridiculous. And I was just self-aware enough to know, like, I didn't want that for myself, even if I did know how to fight and I liked fighting. So I'm like, nah, I don't wish anything to happen to me or my family, because that's another part that comes into play. Like, a lot of people don't just stop at fights or arguments with one person. They like to bring other people into the mix, and I'm like, nah, I'm not doing that. That's immature. So I'm choosing peace, I'm choosing love, man. I'm expecting that y'all do too. I really appreciate y'all, man. And this is what it is. This is the vibe, the energy. If you resonate, please feel free to subscribe, because I want this to be a community where people can feel comfortable to be authentic, to be passionate and be themselves, but also be like safe with one another and just have love. And like, if I'm gonna spar with somebody, like, it's gonna be out of respect. You feel me? Like, it's gonna be like an anime. We just gonna bow, and it's gonna be like Dragon Ball Z. Like I was saying, I'm like Goku. I feel like Goku, but I'm more like Gohan. I feel like Son Goku, but I'm definitely more like Kid Gohan for sure. Like, yeah, that's the vibes. So thank y'all once again. God's spell is out now. Economical.univer.sc. It's gonna be below. Caption. I'm gonna see y'all next time. I appreciate you for being here. Gratitude, much love, sun is setting, peace, beauty.